Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Football-Oranje, your home of Dutch football. Netherlands won, France 2 in Euro qualifiers. What do we think of that game tonight then? Let us know in the comments on YouTube live comments or in the comments down below on YouTube if you're watching this after we've been live. We'd love to hear your thoughts, as always. If you enjoy these live streams, give us a big like right now and subscribe to Football-Oranje if you're new. Support our channel, support what we do, help us grow. And your likes and comments help us do that. So without further ado, Abdul, you're here tonight with me to discuss the game. I hate to say it, but I was right with my prediction. Maybe my pessimism was needed after all. Big game coming up against Greece now. But anyway, let's talk about this game. Dutch lost at home to France, a really good team. The Netherlands are missing so many players, as we covered in our preview. Was this to be expected?
Well, yes. When I was hoping for a draw, I was hoping that we can pull a surprise. But realistically speaking, I was giving us a chance of 35% to win. France is the best team in the world right now, whether we like it or not. There is no team that can compete with France. And I cannot really blame anyone for this match. I cannot blame Koeman. He played the way he was supposed to play, except maybe for some players. I think we will get to that later. But after all, we played 5-3-2. We tried our best. We did waste some serious chances. We were very close to equalize. It's fair to lose to France with this result.
Yeah, you said about the chances. I feel like, unless memory's quite poor, the Netherlands had more chances than France, but France had the better ones and were able to score the goals from them. I really like Hartmann's goal. Great finish. Really stood out to me. And a big positive for tonight. I just tweeted it that Hartmann, his performance tonight and his goal now as well, that just cements, I think, his place. Maybe actually not his place in the Netherlands 11, but it cements Daley Blind not having to start a game again unless there's like injuries, It's a really
That's
good
a relief,
plus.
really.
Yeah, we've proven that we don't need Blind. We can
Yes.
use Hartmann instead. So that's a good positive to have. And this comment from Chris, we'll bring in some of these live comments, as many as we can. And he said that at the beginning of the game, he thought it was a really poor starting lineup, very negative setup, slow striker, made no sense whatsoever. I don't know how much I agree with it, though. For me personally, we had to go with 5 at the back. So that setup is negative, I know, but it suits the players we have. We have very little choice for the striker. We decided to go Weghorst because of some pretty decent recent performances. Could we have put Marlon in as well and then had a bit more pace? I suppose is my criticism. Perhaps this is where Chris is going as well with his. It made a lot of sense to me the way that they were set up. But was there one midfielder too many when you already have 5 at the back? Your thoughts on that, Abdul?
Well, okay. Speaking of the strikers, I wasn't happy to see Weghorst up front. I think
Right.
Weghorst can only come as a sub. We saw that against Republic of Ireland, and it did work. I don't think he should have been a starter. And also, I wasn't really happy for Geertruida to play as a central defender. I was really hoping for Van den Ven. He is more of a defensive player than Geertruida. We wanted him more in that position, I think. And of course, also the other mistake was Diron. I mean, we are through with this guy, with all respect to him, really. We've been calling that he should be retired from the national team right after the World Cup, not just continue being selected. It would have been much better if Malin started from the beginning of the match with the Simmons. I think I would have done that, really. And Bergwijn also did something. He created something. He's fast, and you need fast players when you play a team like France, really. So 5-3-2 was good, but with some substitutions maybe. And I believe that's why we played better. When some of the players we've been calling for came in. I know France tried to kill the match, but we also played better when we made these substitutions.
Sure. And it's interesting to have this negativity from this comment, but then also a positive comment here saying it's the best game in a long while. Respectable loss to a sublime team. the difference again in the comment section says it all. What are your thoughts on this one, though, from Dave? He said, like to see the goal again that said was offside. Looked like a harsh call. What are your thoughts on that?
It was very, very difficult call, really. I mean, you have to see it twice, three times. I'm not really sure about it yet. It was very close, by inches maybe. So if it was an offside, we were unlucky. If it was a goal and the referee just counted it as an offside, then we were not lucky again. So, yeah.
We're getting more into individual performances already, so I'll bring in some more, shall I? We've got here about Hirtrouda is not good enough right now. Wish that it was not injured, play instead of him. I think normally Hirtrouda doesn't start for the Netherlands. I do like him very much, the defender, particularly for Feyenoord, playing as a right back in their back four. But yeah, was he at fault tonight? Do you think that he's lost his chance now with the Netherlands for a little bit?
Well, it was obvious the first goal. It was his mistake, really. Geertruida, you can depend on him when you want to attack a little, when you want to push the team forward a little, But with France, really, we needed three classic central defenders. That's why I really wanted Van den Ven to play instead of Geertruida. I don't think that goal would have been, if we had a better defender, a player that defends only. So yeah, I would blame him for the first goal. Yes.
And yeah, he let Mbappe get in front of him, didn't he? As simple as that. He shouldn't have allowed that to happen. I think that Koeman wouldn't have played Van de Ven because of the whole like right foot, left footed situation.
Yes.
Where he's got Van Dijk in the middle. He'd have to put Van Dijk more towards the right, and then you got someone new in the middle. But then I suppose if it was the way around, you wouldn't hesitate on playing a right footed player on the left side of that defense, would you? But it's a bit of a thing, isn't it, that you don't want to have two left-footed players and then have someone towards the right with that problem.
One more thing, Michael, if you allow me to say, I think Koeman was already preparing for the next match. I think, I think with the letting Frimpong play and maybe letting also Van den Ven, maybe he is planning to do something for the next match. He knew it's very difficult to beat France nowadays. We have to be realistic, especially with missing almost 8 players with Oranje. So maybe he is focusing more on the match against Greece, and that's why he let some players play. I think Van de Ven, Hartman, they really have to start next match.
Yeah, there are some players that I think could come in now from this. And you're right. I think Koeman was bringing some players off to give them some rest, make sure they're okay. Weghorst, I'm sure, was a precautionary thing, for example, so that he's ready against Greece. Let's bring in a couple more comments. Back to Hartman. Hartman moved to a bigger club in January. We'll see. I think it will be the summer at least. That final team in particular with Jimenez as well. I think they'll stay for the rest of the year.
If they make it to the second round, or if they make it to the second round of the Champions League, I think he will
for
stay.
sure.
Yeah.
That's it. AJ Nick said Simmons was good against good again, could have scored, but shot saved. Yeah, your thoughts on Simmons tonight? Like you're a big fan of his, aren't you, Abdul?
Yeah, he was fighting really. He did everything he could, especially in the first half. We couldn't really create anything. We needed somebody to do some magic, and he was that guy really. He tried some shots here and there. So yeah, I agree. He was good really. I wanted him to be a starter. I want him to be a starter next match. Sorry, yeah.
QS says that the youth movement is underway. Good things ahead. I was impressed with all the debuts. We're in a good spot. We'll beat Greece, no worries. Good positivity. Yeah, lots of debutants tonight. We had 7 players that had no caps come into the squad before the international break. And we had some players make their first caps this evening. Your thoughts on those players that did come in then, Abdul?
Well, the players who came in, Van de Ven, Frimpong, I hope they can be starters. Reinders is still a new player. He definitely should start the next match against Greece. I think he will be a starter along with Frankie de Jong whenever he's back from his injury. Only slight changes I think we need against Greece, and the team should be ready. If you agree with me.
Yeah, there aren't too many changes that are needed. I think when the key players are back, we won't see half of this team play. But the players that have started tonight, they'll make the majority of that, and they've impressed on their debut. They've taken their chance. Hartman in particular. For Bruggen, not sure. I think he'll have to play against Greece. But let's see whether he does well against Greece. If he has a good performance, he could cement his place again as well. It's such a crucial match. We were looking at it before we came on about the the ins and the outs of qualification. Now, of course, the Netherlands have 3 games to come, and Greece have 2. And with Greece against Netherlands coming up, what does that look like with the Netherlands having to play Ireland at home and then Gibraltar in their final match, whereas Greece have to, they have to go and beat the Netherlands, and then they have France as well coming up. I know the Netherlands could slip up here and this could go wrong, but I'm still confident now that the Netherlands will get at least a draw in Greece. But even if they lose, it's got to be quite the swing, hasn't it? And you're expecting Greece to go out and be absolutely amazing against France to qualify.
Well, if we end up third or fourth, that means we will go to playoffs since we
Yeah,
are Nations League semifinalists. And I just
exactly.
read, that we will face a team from League D, which could be Estonia or Moldova. So it's like the lowest ranking of the Nations League. So we really should not have any problem. But again, with this quality, we should not really struggle against Greece. We should beat them. Not to mention that they are the team that has to attack. They need to win this game. Even a draw is not going to help them, as we noticed, because we have one game less. We have one game in hand. So if we draw, it's most likely we will beat Republic of Ireland and Holland, and of course Gibraltar. So yeah, a draw can help, but we should win, really, I think.
Okay. Thanks, thoughts, Abdul. So we've got some more comments here of people liking performances, bringing some different people. Marlon Veerman, Reinders and Hartman start next time. Back through Ake van der Ven and Virgil van Dijk over here, Trauder. I think that suits you, Abdul.
Yeah.
How about this one here? Veckel doesn't provide anything. No aerial power, no pass. Weak for a larger man. Marlon, though small, it's a more physical threat and has loads of speed. Why not playing
Totally.
together?
No, Weghorst, when he plays, it's like we are missing a player. We are playing with 10 players, really, especially when you depend on counterattacks. Today, we were trying to
Yeah.
depend on counterattacks, so it's wrong to use a slow player. And that's why when we had 2 dynamic players up front, we were much more dangerous.
We've got one here for Frimpong. He has to start again. He has to start. France could lose against Greece because they've nothing to play for now. Okay. Yeah, Frimpong. He's not going to start against Greece, is he? What did you make of his little impact off the bench?
Well, of course, I was so happy that he came in. Finally, nobody's going to say, we are afraid that he's going to move to Ghana or switch the national team to Ghana. So now we all know
That's
that
it now. He's tied down.
yes, exactly. So he is a Dutch player now. He will play for Oranje forever. I think he should be a starter again. Today, when he came in, he was trying to use his individual skills. He tried so hard for that. I think what he did was good, considering the circumstances, considering the match. I think he was good. And I would love to see him as a starter next match. Surprisingly, Dumfries today wasn't really that good.
Yeah, but of course his reputation will mean he'll get in again against Greece. Do you think the tactics would have hindered that, though? Moving on to more how Koeman set the team up today. We expect the formation, but in terms of how the Netherlands kind of functioned moving forward, did that hinder Dumfries?
Maybe. I don't know, really.
I think it might have done. I don't think there were enough players up front for him to link up with and then to get the balls into the box into. It was a bit disjointed at times, not all the time. We got the
Today,
goal, we had a couple of
actually,
chances.
I wasn't happy with Dumfries' defense today. He made many mistakes. That's why maybe I would rather to see Frimpong instead. But again, Greece doesn't have the quality that France has up front. So maybe Koeman will use Dumfries again.
There's actually a comment here that's echoing my thoughts and opposite to yours, Abdul. Dumfries not 100% today, I agree, but how many assists he had over the last handful of fixtures? It's tough to take
Exactly.
him out of lineup.
That's my point. If you want to attack, then Dumfries is the answer. But if you want maybe to to play more conservative, maybe Frimpong has a better chance to go forward
Okay.
and come back. He's way faster. But I would love to see Frimpong starting. The problem is he can only put him over Dumfries, and that's not really it cannot be like that.
Now, we're not going to be doing a preview show for the game before Greece, but we'll definitely do a live stream after the game. So do catch us again around a similar time after that game. A bit of a preview for that one then. With the Netherlands playing so well at home against Greece, I don't expect anything like that comfortable evening again. With it being in Greece, the atmosphere is going to be for sure back in the side that if they beat the Netherlands, have a chance of qualifying to go to the Euros. How are you expecting the game to pan out, Abdul?
Sorry,
How are you expecting the game to go?
how do I expect the game to go against
Yeah.
Greece? Well, I think we're gonna start maybe a little conservative to
Mm,
maybe to
mm.
contain the excitement of the fans and the atmosphere, and then we will start to attack. I think it's gonna be just like how Ireland played against us. They
Yeah.
were trying to push so hard, hoping to score an early goal, and then they will defend. So we really need to watch ourselves for the first 15 minutes, maybe not to concede anything, and then we can control the match, I believe.
What are your predictions for the game? Do you think that? I mean, I would take a draw right now.
You think it's gonna end with a draw?
I do, and I think I'd take that as well.
Well, I believe Holland will win 3-1, I would say.
Convincing. I mean, given the injuries we have, where's your optimism coming from?
We have very fast attackers, and I know the Greek defenders, they are not really that great. They
Mm.
play with enthusiasm more than the more than quality of players. And when you play a team like that, if you just can't contain the match in the first 15 minutes, as I mentioned, you can attack and you can destroy them. Really, I think scoring a goal first will pretty much give us the match because they will start to attack and they will leave spaces in the back. So it will be great if we score a goal first. But I really hope Kuman doesn't surprise us and to play very defensive football, hoping for a tie, for a draw. Knowing Kuman, he could do something like that. I hope that won't be the case.
Okay, realistically, then we're going to see Reckon probably still in staying goal, aren't we? And then he's going to keep Hartman. Yay! No more Danny Blint. There's not really one comment about Danny Blint, by the way, today.
Yeah,
Someone's got to comment now.
yeah. Well,
uh,
his debut and he scored a goal, so he cannot really put him at the bench.
well, I think we'll see the same three centre backs play as this evening. Ake, Van Dijk, and Geertruida for consistency. Dumfries won't be dropped. He'll play right wing back. But he has a choice to make in midfield and attack. Does he play that extra attacker, put Simmons as a 10, and then have just the two midfielders, maybe De Roon and Veerman? Does he do what more people might like to see him do with Veerman and Reinders? That's the difficult thing he has to make because the best players aren't available. He has to stick with like maybe what he's gone with tonight, or does he try something a little different again? Just make it clear, Abdul. What would you go with? What would your front five be?
Uh, well, I think I would choose maybe Malin and Simmons in the beginning.
Right.
I think that's how it should start. And I think the midfield, I would choose Verman. I think he did okay today with the Reinders. Uh,
Do you go with De Roon as well then?
no, will I surprise you if I say Stings?
Okay. Yeah. That interesting. I, I don't think Kuman will do it, but yeah, have the two midfielders deeper, then play Stengs behind Simmons and
Yes,
Marlon.
yes,
Okay. Yeah, I want to see a bit of Stengs. Mm, I think he suits it more when you've got loads of the ball and he's able to be someone with assists, running at the defense, similar-ish to Simmons, so maybe not having both of them. But yeah, that would be interesting. And if Netherlands needs to get a goal, they can turn to someone like him. Now, we'll
yes.
come back to the comments. Has someone put in a comment about Daley Blint yet? Oh, someone said, who's Daley Blint? Forgot about him already.
Yeah.
Uh,
Speaking of Frimpong, maybe he should play if we switch to 4-3-3. I think with 5-3-2 he has
mm,
no chance, but 4-3-3 maybe he can play.
disagree. I think the 5 suits him better because he's better going forwards. Him and Dumfries, this 5 at the back suits both of them.
Yeah.
And let's talk about Reinders this evening. I don't think he stood out as much as he did in his last performance. Reinders should be the player to play alongside Frankie moving forward. Agree or disagree?
Agree. Totally agree.
Mm.
Reinders is the player we've been looking for to play along with Frankie
Yeah.
de Jong. Yep.
Yeah, he's come out of nowhere almost because he's been such a late bloom in his career. I didn't have him out to be like a starting Netherlands player, and what a terrific little rise that's been. We're going to wrap up the show, guys. If you've got any more comments, bring them in. But yeah, Abdul, this evening, was this a surprise for you?
No, I was expecting that we would lose. I was just hoping that we play well. I think it was an okay match for Oranje. It's not like a match you should be ashamed of. It's not like the 4-0, for example. When they scored the first goal, to be honest, I was kind of afraid. But when I saw how the first half ended, I knew that we're gonna play a very stable and in a very wise way as well, which we did play wisely in the second match as well. And that led us to score a goal. If we were a little bit luckier, maybe we could have scored an equalizer. But yeah, I'm okay with that defeat. It's expected, but it will not be. Of course, I will not be okay if we lose against Greece. Even a tie, we should really be able to beat Greece.
Yeah, I think that the Netherlands draw because they don't have to win, and I think that plays a part in this result as well. And some positives from this evening. I really enjoyed seeing Hartman shove it in Koeman's face, saying like, "Just play me, stop playing Blint."
Yes,
That was
yes,
really good, and
yes,
pleasing to have Frimpong come off the bench. So we have another option at right wing back.
yes,
Let's get some players back though from injury, and then the starting 11 will look really, really nice in November. Fingers crossed, and players will be back to play that, and we'll have a fantastic starting lineup against Ireland. So last
yes.
comments then. Let's have a little look. We've got here a comment saying false 9 against Greece. Well, who would you play in the false 9? I suppose if Marlon or Vekos lead the line, which they will do, one of them will, that's going to be your striker, isn't it?
Yeah, I would go for Malin definitely.
You
Not
want someone to
not
be a bit of a
not
spearhead.
the first. Yes. If you don't mind me talking about this, Michael, we did not talk
Go for
about
it.
Weaver. I think he did a good job when he came in.
Yeah, there was positivity from final fans actually about Hartman and Vifa tonight. And Vifa didn't have a good game, did he? I can't remember which game it was, but he didn't do well. And him playing better tonight is positive for him after his start of the season. How about this one from Dan? How about Schouten or Quentin Timber over Dodone? Yeah, Schouten. People thought he was missing from the original squad. He's done okay for PSV so far. I think if he gets a good run of games together, Champions League games, doing well in those, maybe he does come into this and he's another option instead of Derone. He does make tackles. He does keep the passes simple, but I think it's a bit more technical, a bit more interesting than Derone.
If you remember our when we talked right after the match against Argentina, I was hoping for Timber to be in the national team. Really, I
Oh,
saw
yeah.
I saw him developing. I really think he deserves to be in Oranje. Indeed, yes, along with Schouten also. It's time to just ditch some players, man.
Yeah.
Blind, Diron. We're really tired of this player. Berghaus. Maybe I do excuse Koeman this time for the injuries, but we really need to get some fresh legs in the team, like Schouten and Timber. They're doing great, really.
Timber's a good player. I don't know if he's Netherlands quality, though. That's where my doubts are.
Well, Arne Slot is well known for developing players. He developed them big time, and I think Hartman was developed under Slot also. He wasn't that good when he started, so maybe Timber is ready now to play. We should give him a chance, really.
Okay. Another comment here saying that we should still be proud of the players out this evening. Yep. Well, I think
Yep.
we're pleased with that performance, really. It was okay. I think we saw it was quite negative to begin with, but we can understand why. The timing of the goals as well. France's goals came early in both halves, and that never helps when it's just It's a bit of a blow to what you've just said in your team talks. Here's one from Aiden. Why not go Xavi at CAM and then go Robbie and Marlon? Yeah, could do.
That could that could be good also. Yes, yes. As long as you don't have a slow player up front, Broby and Malin, they can create something. Yes, we need their skills.
And I said it in the preview that I've liked Robbie start to the season for Ajax. As poor as they've done, he's been good with his hold up play. He scored a few goals, despite being a little bit wasteful and taking a bit of a pressure situation with Ajax and doing all right. Any more comments? Yeah, someone said about Xerxes. Not sure about him.
No,
Myself, no.
yet.
You're not either.
Yeah, not yet. Maybe he will be picked in November, maybe.
And I think this was a response to my comment about Quentin Timber. If Jerome Weghorst and Blinton Evans quality anybody is. True. Very true. You got me there.
Yes. But speaking of Broby, if you don't mind me talking about this, Michael, maybe I was against him because the chances he wasted. He wasted many chances with Ajax this season. He is a fighter. He has really potential. But maybe because of the chances he wasted, maybe he is the key for against Greece if he plays. Yes.
Okay. Some good to just have the options when we have very few seemingly, and they can always come off the bench for a half or 30 minutes, make a difference. I had a comment about Ibrahim Sissoko, the old NEC Nijmegen player. I admit I have not watched him at all since he left NEC, but no, kept tabs. No, I'd just be Googling him, to be honest, if I was going to offer my thoughts on him. So yeah, not sure about him. Thanks you everyone for watching this evening, joining along live with the comments. If you are watching live, you just missed the live show, do comment on YouTube anyway. What did you think? Was it to be expected tonight? Who would you rather see play against Greece? And if you like, you can give me your prediction for that Greece game as well. So give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to Football-Oranje if you're new. Put the notifications bell on as well, by the way. I've noticed that the algorithm's doing us disservice at the minute. So if you just hit the notification bell, then you'll know when we're doing our next live stream and next preview shows. And yeah, loads more coming on the Football-Oranje website. Mike's not here tonight. He'll be back in the live stream against Greece. There'll be the three of us. So yeah, get commenting and see everyone soon.